Hey guys. How are you? How's life? I have about 2 hours for a short stream. I thought we might take the time and use it. Hey V2, hey Yakins. Hey guys. I thought we might take the time to improve Bureaucrat. It currently looks like... Do we have it somewhere? This is the output we generated yesterday evening, afternoon, whatever. Most of it is debug, but you can already see the table. Like, I think we can get rid of the debug border around the page. That will help us. No, let's leave the debug border around the page. Maybe let's make it dashed so that it doesn't interfere with the table just as much. So we want this dash pattern. Let's use a light blue. A light blue is almost white, right? Let's see how that looks. You are compiling module. You shouldn't compile module. You should compile example. Okay. Yeah, so very a light border, not blue enough for my taste. Yeah, okay. Hey, Waschbenzin. So let's do the borders. I think so. On my agenda for today is 1 borders, 2 image, 3 font, 4 rich text, which we're not going to get done in 2 hours. But let's start with borders. So what's the current state of our committed stuff? Okay, everything except what we just added. Okay. So we already have borders, we just don't use them. We haven't implemented the set border and merge border functions. We don't render the borders, so let's start there. So we have set row border. Setting the row border basically sets the outer borders of the outer cells and the top and bottom borders of all the cells. Let's start with cell border, that's easier. So you set the size and the color and the direction. So if direction is case left, oh no, that's not good because it's flags. If direction and left, we do something. what's the current cell? We put this simply into next cell state, right? What was the idea? Let me look at the example again. How did we want to specify this? What MacBook do I have? It's a M1 16-inch Pro. So we set alignment. Where do we border? We said row border, row border. And I guess this is supposed to change it for all subsequent cells. Unless you update cell border, which only affects... Good question. How do I want this to work? I'm not sure. Do we modify the state of all? I think we modify the default of the columns with that for now, so that it keeps repeating unless you change it. Yeah, let's do that. So cell border. The cell that we want to modify is table columns, table current row count default, and we want to take the address of that, and then we say if it's left, we say style border we can't do that, so we start top to bottom. Top 0 is size color, or is it color size? How did we define it? Size color. Okay. Top right, bottom left, and that's it. Easy. That just sets it on that one cell, and we need to adjust. No, actually we don't. We just copy this over when we create the cell. Add cell. So we say state I have the feeling this next cell state is pretty useless by now. What do we keep from next cell state? I think we keep nothing, basically. So it is a cell state. We don't keep the content. We don't keep the alignment, which is in style. Cell style alignment. We're not going to keep the borders. We don't keep the padding. So content and style are useless. Font and font size are useless. Width and height is computed. Yeah. Okay, so next cell state can go to hell. State style. Default is exactly what we used up here. Default borders. Alignment and padding we get from the live one. This is different, behaves different now than alignment and padding, but I'm fine with that. Okay, that's good enough. Next cell state can go to hell. Okay, so this should give us some borders for the ones where we set it with cell state. We just say row border, row border, row border, and we set cell border only here. We set it to black. Doesn't help because that's the default anyways. But we set it to 1. So if we remove our placeholder, let's do that before we do the row border stuff. Let's render this one. That means we don't take into account the width of borders right now. We should at some point. So we render text, let's render the borders over the text for now. Maybe you want to do that first though. Okay. I wonder how it looks if we do it in separate draws instead of a single one, but it's going to be easier. So we're going to say border, we have that. If call border this is in style. Okay, now I need the documentation, which is somewhere. So rectangle is of course the easiest one. We have to be in path object to do line 2. So how do we enter path object? Is there a begin? No. Move to, maybe. Yes. So we do move to and then line 2. So we have to set the stroke first, like this is border or borders? Borders. We're gonna ignore merging for now. Okay. This sets the color. How do I set this thickness? Set line width. That sounds good. And then we do PDF page move to. So this is a top border, which means we start at cell start X. Row start Y. And then we say line 2. Okay, and then at the end we stroke. And we line to cell width. Okay, that's the top border. Oops. And one is from cell width row start Y bis row start Y plus column height. You see a pattern here. Maybe we should extract that pattern right away. This is and this one is from, let's do it clockwise until cell start X, and the last one, oh, and I shouldn't have deleted that code because I'm gonna need this for this function. Okay. Yep, you're right. Thank you. So this one is that, and third one is from cell width. Nope, from start x plus to start x without anything. So we go clockwise around. Another width. Okay, that should get rid of almost all borders. We should just see a few at the end if I did my job. Yes, not quite right though. That's not large enough. So these are, I think, top borders. If I... One is a bottom border. Oh, we just set the bottom border. Okay. So it's bottom border. That means it's 2. We say cell start plus cell width. Is cell width not correct? Oh, but we pre-compute that, no? Let's go back to compute height, and we should probably move that up. Yeah, we set this here, so we don't need to do this again. Doesn't fix our problem though. Nope. Oh, also it's offset. That's the problem. I forgot. Yeah, that's the problem. It's offset. It's not too short. It's offset because cell start is in logical coordinates, but we're drawing now. Yeah, that's so let's change this to be, so this is cell start, this is content start. We can say Haru cell start X is page margins 3 plus cell start X. So this becomes Haru content start X, and all of these become that. And now it's in the right spot. Awesome. I don't know why it zooms out every time. Okay, so these cells now get their border. It seems right. Let's do more. Let's do the row border. No, you know what? Let's just see if all the borders are right. Let's just set row border. No, let's say set cell border. On the very first cell, we want a 2 border black all, so the whole left column should now get a rectangle around. Yay, that worked. And since this has a call span, it's also affected. That looks fine. The only trouble we have now is that this eats into our content. Since we don't, oh yeah, and we have this problem. Do you see this problem? Because we don't render the caps properly. So either we change the cap status or we do a better job of thinking about where the line starts and ends. Or we have more special cases where we try to render borders like in one stroke as much as we can, which is complicated. I don't want to go into that. Let's see if we can fake it by just setting the is it cap, set line cap. This should be good enough. Yeah. I don't know what this one is called. Square, really? I assume that's a typo. Yes. Come on, I just pasted this. I just copied this. So that might fix this. Yep, fixed. Easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Doesn't look too bad. The problem is if we do thick borders, it's gonna eat into our content. Let me show you. We have enough padding to prevent that, but let's get rid of the padding for the first cell. Damn it, you're big enough. Yeah, but here you can see it. No, here you can see it. So we should increase. The question is, what do you do? Like, how do you compute that? Let's introduce the box model from HTML. I'm kidding. I'm gonna ignore this for now and just leave it on the to-do list. The borders I'm gonna render should not affect this at all. Okay, let's do the row borders. So if you say top, that affects all the cells. So we say for table columns. Its style borders, top is that. We could do the following, by the way. Instead of creating tons of literals. Same for bottom. If it's right, this just affects the style of the first one. And left. And this is exactly the other direction. So left comes first. This affects table columns count -1, style borders 1, and that's it. This is not style, this is defaults. Right? It's not default, it's defaults. The other way around. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Ta-da! We have a thick border at the top of... Wait a minute. We are rendering wrong. I didn't see it before, but this is wrong. Oh no. Width is plus, but Y is minus because stupid. Did we hit all of them? I think so. Now we got it. So we have a thick line below the header, thin lines between the columns, and then a thick black line at the end, and then two thin lines here. And this looks like ass. Sorry. I mean, it does look bad here as well, but I think this one is worse. So we shouldn't have a line. We should clear the line after the total. Doesn't help much though. Yeah, okay, slightly better. Should we cut these lines to not have one here? So we say subtotal excluding that. Set row border here. Set cell border 0 at the bottom. That's better. Here it's a bit weird because we moved the footer to its own page. Maybe we can't actually prevent that. We can. If we have something like begin table footer, we could prevent the previous line from being rendered at the previous page and take it with us, basically, so that the footer never is alone. Let's remove our debug border for a second. Just so we can judge this better. What does it actually look like? So the border of the table header is repeated. That's good. Yeah, maybe we should borrow the last row. So if the footer doesn't fit and the footer is, then let's do that. I think that's a good idea. It's fancy. Fancy is good sometimes. So we have begin table. Where's end table? That one doesn't exist yet. So let's add it. Okay, what effect does this have? If table num footer rows greater or equals to 0, table num footer rows plus equals 1. And now we do the special case. We say if the current row doesn't fit and we have a last row, render last row on next page is table num footer rows equals 1. So not current row fits and table blah. Ah. Now the question is with which one? Okay, 1 second. Baby steps. If render last row on next page. Okay. Row below header is if x render last row next page, then it's a pointer to table last row, else it's a pointer to table current row. This actually needs pointers. No, actually it doesn't. Forget it. Forget what I did. Well, yes. No, it needs pointers. We haven't implemented this, so I didn't see it. Let's see, this needs a pointer to the array. Okay. So with these changes, if I'm not completely mistaken, this should pull. This does exactly nothing. Awesome. Well done. Oh, because I didn't call it here. Begin table footer. Ah, see? Now we pull the last row down to the footer. That's better. Lucky accident that we hit this case, because I think this, yeah, this makes it better. Now the question is, in the original crappy design, we only do the black bar under the numbers and the rest has light bars. I think I like this one better. We can try the old version. So in this case, what light border color? This is a bit silly. Let's do it here. Okay, I messed this up. This one should be. Okay, this is what we had before, kinda. Is that better? No, I don't think so. This is minor. This has nothing to do with the library. This is just playing with our dummy invoice design. Oh yeah, the footers. We still need to do the page footers. Okay. So we now have tables. We don't merge the borders yet, which you will see if I do the following. Let's say we have a light border of 2 at the bottom, and now we have a black border at the top. If you look closely, you see that we draw both borders. We draw the thick gray border of the header, like the bottom border of the header, and then with the black top border of the line. Do you have the full requirements like carryover or subtotal per page? I'm not implementing them because our invoices currently don't contain them. I thought about it. I was like, whatever. We might add this if we want to. I don't need it right now, so I'm not going to implement it. The problem is you would have to say how big the carryover row is in advance, and then provide a callback to be called when you need to render the carryover, basically. So you would have an inversion of control because, because just that's what it is. Or you could have a callback when you say add row. Like if you say add cell after the last cell, or add table row after the last row, like either when you say add table row or if you say add table add cell. It's interesting we say add cell but add table row. Well, whatever. Maybe we should say add table cell. Yeah, maybe. We also just say set row border instead of set table row border. So this is inconsistent. Do we just say add row? I don't know. What do you guys think? And regarding carryover, so we could return when you say add cell, we could tell you whether that row that you just finished will fit on this page. If it doesn't, well, then maybe also the carryover doesn't fit. So you would have to specify when you begin the table if you want to have a carryover row. And how big it is, basically. So you can leave place for that, and then either you have a callback or you get notified when you need to render a carryover row after a row. It's not rocket science. It's not that hard. The question is, what do we do about the borders? Let's make this more pronounced. Let's make this one a 4. So now you can clearly see that we don't merge the borders. I said before that I think we should merge the borders and that we should merge them in a way that the bigger border prevails. So that's my plan right now. Okay, let's do merge borders. Yeah, we could do add row to the table, but currently that's internal. Like the state is internal basically, so you don't see the table. So, the question is what we do about. So if we say add cell is now add table cell for consistency, then what about set row border? That should be table row border, right? Set default table cell paddings. It's a bit verbose. I'm gonna keep those like this for now. Like table row and table cell are consistent now. I'm gonna ignore the rest for now. Okay, so we have to border is border if if upper style borders. Oh, we have to do it for every cell. For upper for every element in upper by pointer. No. Assert upper count is lower count. For I 0 dot dot upper count -1. If upper I style border, so we care about the lower border here, size is bigger than greater or equal to lower borders 0 size, so upper dominates lower, then we just clear the lower one. So we say upper no, we copy the merge border afterwards. So we say lower I style merged borders is we clear it, else we do it with the upper. That's it. That's all we need to do. And when we now create the cell, tables, we need to make sure that we set merged borders. State merged borders is state style. Why am I using the old reference syntax? Because I'm used to it. And it didn't bother me. It's just syntax. Like you learn the syntax and whatever. I had no need. And it's easier to do dash dash, or like, sorry, not dash dash. Like this one, just hit it twice than doing two different. This is like, at least on my keyboard, this is dot shift plus. So that's like 3 keystrokes when I can do 2. Or when I can just hit 1 key twice. So why? I don't care. Merge borders. This is a fixed size array. So if I copy this, it will actually copy the values. Done. What did I do wrong? I added something that's not necessary. Okay, that merges the borders, it doesn't render them. So let's do that. This is no longer true. So this one now is call merge borders. And with a touch of luck, that works. Or with a bunch of competence. No, luck is enough. Awesome. So now the thick one prevails here. Maybe it will be removed in the future. Then I have to switch it over. Yeah, you can see one issue of our drawing style now is that can you spot this here? If I scroll here, yes, now you can see it. The thicker border goes wider than the thinner one. I don't care right now. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person. All the UI designers will torture me, but no one's watching, so whatever. Okay, we merge borders. That's it. That's all we need to do. We could say the darker color prevails because now we have all the light colors, even though every one of the rows has a dark color. But we say top prevails. Maybe bottom should prevail by default. Like the lower row should prevail by default. That actually makes more sense, maybe. So we say if it's bigger than the previous row prevails. Otherwise, the later row prevails. That means we have now the thick. We still have the thick light line here, but now, so this one has a light lower line and a dark upper line, every one of these rows. So here the dark upper line gets overwritten by the thicker light line, and here the light line gets overwritten by the dark line of the following row. Did I see the first line values in 2 rows? That's on purpose. This is, I put a new line here so I can have thicker rows, so I can more clearly see if we wrap the rows correctly, etc. Like this should never be split. That's what we're doing right now. The amount? What do you mean? Yeah, that's also on purpose. All of this is on purpose, but thanks. Everything renders exactly as I expected it. Except for this one. This lost its border. There should be a light lower border. Did I delete this for some reason? No, I guess this is a bug in the merging. I know what it is. I think. Well, no, this one should have never merged borders at the bottom. Because no one's after it. Okay, so it's not quite done. Good that I saw this. So all of these have a dark top border and a light bottom border. All of them with size 1. I bet if I do this, it's suddenly gonna show up even on the last row. Yes, so this is proof that it's the merge. We do a merging where we shouldn't do one. So for some reason, this row we do merge this row against this row, even though we shouldn't. Oh yeah, sure. Because we merge them. And then we pull this one down because of the footer. That's a consequence, because we calculated that this one will fit on this page. So before we render this one, we merged its border with the next border, so we don't render something that we shouldn't render. So we didn't render this one because it gets overwritten by this one, but then we pull this one onto the next page because we decided that the footer shouldn't stand on its own. Also, we should document the footer feature. One thing that's a bit sad, if I remove one row, so, okay, we need to fix this bug, but I'm going to show you another one that I don't like. I don't know if we can fix this. Now the footer can get split. And if the footer has started, maybe we shouldn't re-render the header. Or shall we? What do you think? If the footer has started, should we re-render the header? I'm gonna say yes for now, even though I'm not certain. So that's an issue, that the footer can get split, but we can't prevent this with our API. I'm cool with that. I think it's okay that we pull the last line. We need to fix this one though. So if this happens, if we say render last row on next page, we need to re-render the second to last one's bottom border. Yeah. Is it worth all these extra complexity just to have this row pulling feature? Because that means, because we don't have this row anymore, we rendered it and threw it away. So we would either have to keep one more row, or at least the border of the last row we rendered, the original one, so that we can then, if this happens, this would look like this. Re-render the second. Is this second to last? What do you say? So this is a special case. That would mean we would need to keep at least the border of the second to last row around. It's not a big deal. It's just worth, the question is if it's worth the complexity, so that we have this pull a row with the footer feature. I'm not sure how useful the pull a row with the footer feature is if the footer itself can be split. We could only prevent that by saying leave space for this much of a footer, and you basically pre-compute how big 3 rows of you would be. That's super complicated. I'm not sure, like, not super complicated, but it's unnecessary, not unnecessary complexity, but annoying complexity. So here you can clearly see the bug. This one has its bottom row because the next one gets moved to the new page normally. This one doesn't have it because of this special case. So that's the bug. I'm gonna get a thinking coffee, but I think we implement this. Yeah, unless someone in chat objects, but chat is really quiet today, so maybe no one will. See you soon. Okay, no one objected, so let's do this. So we need to keep that state. Is it second to last? Super specific, but okay. Okay. Here we do the shuffling. So here we say second to last row bottom border is table last row. Oh, it's not enough. We need this. Let's just do this one. Because we need the different borders for every cell. So the easiest would be to just keep one more. Sorry for the mess. Table second to last row is table last row. Table last row is turn current row is old. And this one gets reset. Okay, so we keep one more in the loop. And so we say here, the raw row border. I'm gonna pull that out. We called this render before. Do we just copy this? That's a bit shitty. Clean code is gonna love this. Don't pass a boolean to a function to make it do different things. Rule number 252 or something. But I'd rather do this than copy the calculations, honestly, right now. Boom. We have to do if table second. Let's just do no 2. Oh, and I did it wrong down there. Size is not it, style borders to size. That means we removed it during the merge. Then we do this and say needs redraw is true. We can do it more specific. This doesn't win the clean code award. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. 3 is not the bottom. 3 is the right border. Yummy. Yummy code. Let's see if it works. No. It does not. Like, it kind of does, but not. Why is the position already down there? Like, that can be fixed, but why is it the case? Why is the position already down there? What am I missing? Oh. This doesn't necessarily help. I don't think that was the cause, but maybe. No. So the cell start has moved. Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, of course. So we could fix this by actually keeping the position in the row. The problem is right now the row is an array of cell states, so we could save it in the cell state at the cost of some extra memory. I don't care. Let's do this. So we're going to compute this in compute height. Oh, we didn't even need this here. Nice. Call 0. Hey. Oh, that's not quite right. Yes. That is not quite right. Actually, we can do this. We can just do this here at the end. Let's see how much I made a mess. Quite a bit. Awesome. Well done. The header needs to be reset. Voila, works. Okay. Okay. Merge. else do we do? Okay. So let's do the footer. This is gonna be a bit of a mess because we didn't compute the footer yet. So we completely forgot about it. So our net page height needs to take the footer into account. Footer height? Yes. That's not enough. Anything that talks about page margins too. Wait, why are we doing this twice? That's nonsense. Okay. Anyone who talks about page margins too. No, this is footer height. This is going to be fun. Okay, so let's re-enable this one. And set a different RGB stroke with a light red border. Let's see if I can do this. And we want a rectangle from page margins 3, page margins 2, width and footer height. Okay. That should change how much fits. That looks wrong. When do we set the footer? So we see the footer height here and here. Did we have just such a thin margin at the bottom before? Did you see around this? Thank you. Okay, we really just had such a thin border. Okay. Still, when we said, it should still work. I think we, oh no, so we set the set page footer height here. That does not affect the current page. We need to keep the footer height per page. If we want it, like, if we want to have that feature. Otherwise, we should set it in init. But it seems like you might want to have different footers per page. Okay. Yeah, so we have pages here. Maybe that's not necessary. Okay. So if you add page, if pages count, okay. Let's keep this one around. Just make things easier. Okay. And this one we're not gonna do here. Yeah, we're gonna do this if so we do a rectangle from it's a bit of a mess, but whatever. Oh, rectangle takes width and height. Then this is way easier. My bad. I thought it took 2 coordinates. Okay. Good. So we're not gonna render it correctly for the first page. That's fine because we only gonna do it like this. And now this becomes easier actually. Come on. Start compiling. Oh, array add doesn't. Okay, with that, we could have different footers per page. The first one is not going to render correctly because we set it too late. Yes. Oh, I managed to mess this one up. Nice. How did I do that? Because this one now has to take into account, yeah, page dimensions. You can't do that too too soon. This needs to come afterwards. Better. So we have a footer. Let's make it bigger. That prevents us from having too much on a page because the footer is this big. Let's make it a bit more, the bug info a bit more useful. It's still gonna be partially wrong, but that's good enough. I guess I overwrote my... I hate it when that happens. When I overwrite my copy buffer by accident. Now we should see it on the first page as well. Yes, okay. Ooh, close call. So if we make it slightly smaller, it should fit. No? Now it fits, okay. This is wrong. Someone doesn't adjust properly after we add a page. Here, we get the total height minus page margins. Also, that doesn't change because header height is 0. Why are we going? Actually, this is correct. We draw the border incorrectly. Because I say 3, 2, yeah, that's not correct. Now it fits. Okay, that was just the preamble. If we say begin footer, oh, I'm glad we use get current page everywhere because this will now change. And I'm glad I introduced page info because we need a position on the page info. Okay. No, that's not correct. The position.x is page margins 3. Position.y is page margins 2 plus page we need to adjust current page info as well. Dot footer height. This should be the same, but whatever. Okay, that's part of the solution. We still need to make sure that get current page now does the right thing, and add page needs to update current page, and then we're almost done. Force X4. No, this is a pointer. Current page info is a pointer. So we set what our, when you call begin footer, we save where we were on the current page in the current page info. Then we change the current page and current page info to whatever you gave us. Yeah, no, this is not, these are pointers. I thought about adding pointer to their name, but I thought, nah, current page info is already so long. So get current page, luckily, can now just return current page, which means get current page is superfluous, almost. But I'm going to keep it for now. And add page needs to say current page is page. And these I'm using the knowledge that these are pointers as well. Page is a pointer. Current page. Oh yeah, we haven't added that. We could assert that we are in a footer. Oh, this one doesn't need it. Yeah, sorry, my bad. And with this power move, we have the page text almost at the right position. We just need to adjust this before we start rendering. How do we do this here? We do I'm gonna do this a bit lazily. We might want to add, like, hide this in the abstraction. I don't want to do it right now. Set position, current position dot x. Oh wait, yikes! This is gonna return. I mean, it's gonna work, but this position is gonna be negative because these are logical ones and the footer is excluded. Whatever, it's fine. Minus get line height. Okay, we need to keep track of whether we're in a header. I wanted to avoid that, but no, we need to keep track of it. In a footer, like if we have a current page info, we copy this one. We say page info position. Oh, that's gonna get reset. No, that's fine. Store the old position. And the error is gonna be body. Let's do this separately. Okay. Why do we need this? We don't do that for the header yet. What makes Jai different than C or C++? A lot. Lots of things. It's such a... I really, really enjoy programming in Jai, as I've never enjoyed programming in any other language as much as I do it in Jai. And I've programmed in lots and lots and lots and lots of languages. Oh, I'm almost out of time. I have like 10 minutes left. So let's do a very quick job on this one. The code that looks if we need to skip, if we need to add a page. Let's say we don't support tables in footers. I'm sorry. Just for now, let's make our life easier. And here we're gonna say, let's only do this if we're in the body. Otherwise we just continue. Then it's your fault. I can identify render area. What did I call it? Current area. Damn it. Oh, I was too aggressive with the with the replacement. Okay. Does it work? It works. Hooray, just in time. Tiny tweak. I want this right aligned. So let's say set text alignment right. Ta-da. See, this starts to get kind of nice to use. Let's make the footer only as big as it needs to be. Maybe a bit bigger. Just because I don't want to mess with adjusting the proper line height. This looks good. We probably need more footer margin, like more bottom margin, honestly. This is too little. This is not even gonna print properly. So now if we remove the debug printing, I think we have a winner. Like this is getting really close to feature complete for my use case. I don't know what you guys think. I want to delete those two rows to test the footer pulling, not the footer pulling, the last row pulling. Make sure that this still works. Yeah, so now I deleted 2 rows. We had 2 rows before. Now this one gets pulled to the last one. That's nice. Yep, I'm happy. So what needs to be done? We need a better font so that we get a euro sign. We need to draw images, and we need to implement the rich text. The rich text is going to be work, the rest is harmless. I like it. What do you guys think? I need to run. I have 5 minutes. So let's find someone nice to raid. But I'm really happy with, yeah, that's totally like very creative work. Okay. Well. Wow. I don't know how he does a Godot speed run or what. Or she. Hard to say. Lots of viewers. Who are these guys? Oh, Camel. Funny. Is there someone who's worthy or whether raid? I see no one that excites me right now. Lots of co-working going on. With lots of viewers, like almost as many people watch this guy's side view as watched me. Shall I take that personally? Maybe. Godot surely got a big push from the Unity fallout. I don't see anything that sounds interesting. All right, I have to leave. Sorry guys, we'll raid someone next time. Thanks for coming by. Have a nice day. Bye.